So I'm going to get you started. We know that Justin has a flight. The other two athletes are absent here today. Justin Cooper out of Cold Springs Harbor, New York, brought his 250F Yamaha to a second-place finish. A good job for him, a great day. I can't say that it's for sure a record crowd, but it sure did look like it and feel like it. We had a lot of activity all day. So, Justin, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. The day went really smooth for me, and got off to two pretty decent starts and made my way forward from there. So it was a battle all day, and I feel like I'm riding at the best of my career. So, yeah, we'll take it into the last race and give it one more go.
You know, qualifying started out the day, you never know what you're going to get. And you came out of qualifying, you were pretty darn good.
Yeah, I'm a specialist in qualifying for sure. Track was really muddy this morning. Made for the good racing at the end with the ruts. And, yeah, put a good lap together in the second session. And that was good enough for first. Gate pick is important here.
It was very important here. That first turn, not the greatest first turn in motocross, but you've really got to study it.
Yeah, it's known for a lot of carnage over the years, so you really gotta watch the racing, see how the first turn's playing out, and from there just try to be smart and not throw it away there.
Can you talk about that first moto? We saw you had to make that pass on Hunter, got a little contact. Seems like kind of the factor of the racetrack. That's kind of what Hunter said, kind of what it looked like. Talk about that. Did you feel like that was a moment you needed to take and you had to kind of get ahead of him to give you just a shot to try and make up some points today? And then kind of how that filtered into the second moto once you kind of got in the second and tried to manage it from there?
Yeah, I mean, Hunter's no joke. He's really good at racing. Really good racecraft, really good rider. And, yeah, just had to bump him a little bit. It was first lap. Everyone's kind of finding their flow, and I just saw an opportunity to get underneath him. So, yeah, a little contact, but nothing crazy. And was from there, was kind of sandwiched in between Jalik and him, and really had to play defensive and then attack at the same time. So, first moto was definitely tough. It was more of a managing race, and I felt like the pace was a lot more in the second moto.
Did the track change much into the second moto? Was it harder to gain ground and gaining? I mean, passing is going to be difficult no matter what, but was it that much harder as the track kind of deteriorated throughout the day?
I think it was better. The ruts started holding, and it got a little bit more dry, and it was able to, switch it up a little bit. I felt like there was different lines, and after the 450s you get out there, there's a lot more track to find. So, yeah, new lines, new opportunities, and yeah, definitely had my work cut out with me with Austin. He was definitely making it hard on me, and once I got around him, I tried to make a push at Hunter, and yeah, he was riding good. There was not much I could do. I closed the gap, but from there, I was just following him to the finish.
Yeah, let's open it up for some questions.
Mitch Kendra from Racer X. Obviously, you're talking about the track a little bit. There were some sections that were really hard packed and kind of slick looking, and then some of the turns were soft. Just talk about managing those different situations, like you said, being able to push better in the second moto. But talk about, going up that hill after the finish line, there was that sketchy, kind of bump in it. Just talk about managing the bumps and the way the track broke down.
Yeah, so that section in particular, with that bump, it was really slick up the inside. So most of the time I wasn't getting good drive up that hill, but if I did, I was going for that jump over the top. That was definitely a good line, but again, it was hard to get that with the drive we had up to it. Paddle was pretty much just for the start. It was very tough around most of the hard pack sections with that tire, and you really had to kept you on your toes. You had to be careful, and it was good in other spots. So it was a give and take, but overall happy with my riding, feel the best I ever have, and ready to take it down to the wire next weekend.
Yeah, and then you mentioned yesterday during press the big gulp jump that's kind of like the breather on the track. Talk about hitting that consistently and how that just doing that over and over, not everybody's jumping every single lap. Just talk about doing that and how, one, it's a breather, but two, that makes you keep consistent lap times and just keep a flow going.
Yeah, it's a must to do that. I think I missed it a few times today, but it was all about getting that turn clean and not lighting up the back tire coming out with the hard pack there. But other than that, I feel like I hit it most of the time, and it almost wasn't a breather because we were sectioning it out so hard.
Yeah, and then real quick, the last one, obviously if you don't get this title, I guess this is your final 250 season, right? So do you kind of feel like extra motivation heading into the Super Motocross World Championship and into the playoff rounds, and could you just kind of talk a bit about that and kind of wanting to go out with a title to end your 250 career here.
Yeah, I feel the best I ever have, like I said. So doing everything I can to win. Came up short today, but got another chance next weekend. And, yeah, full gas into the 3 SMX playoffs. It's going to be a good time. We don't really know what to expect, but we're going to give it our all on that, of course. And, yeah, we'll take it from there.
Overall winner, Hunter Lawrence. You are actually going to call Joe, aren't you?
Yeah.
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 The answers.
We'll see. Maybe not.
Hunter, congratulations. It was a good day for you.
Yeah.
Had yourself a win here. A traditional Budds Creek race. It was warm, not overly warm. Hard packed track in some cases, soft in other cases. Tell us about your day.
Yeah, I think we got treated to a very friendly Budds Creek this year in comparison to previous Budds Creeks where it's just like hot, humid, down the start line. You feel like you're going to die. It's so hot. Today was beautiful, honestly. Like a little breeze and stuff. It was really nice. So, don't know where it came from because it's normally hot as hell here. So, it was good. The day was good. Joe's calling. But yeah, no, my day was good.
All right, you got a guest on the phone?
Yeah, Joe, we're in the press conference. They're gonna ask you questions, and then you just tell them to me, and then I'll answer. I'll tell them for you. I'm in the press conference, and they want to ask you questions. So whatever they ask you, I'm just gonna tell them your answer.
Oh my God! Sorry, thank you.
All right, we're on. Right.
All right, so we have Hunter Lawrence live, Joe Shimoda via cell phone.
Yeah. So you got questions for Joe?
Yeah, I'd have a question for Joe. Joe, how come you're not at the press conference?
He said, "How come you're not at the press conference?" But it's to beat the hurricane, yeah.
So yes, there is a hurricane that's gonna go for 3 days, and if I catch my flight tonight, I don't have to be stuck in Budds Creek for 3 days. So I kind of need to go.
So
it was urgent.
you're pulling the weather card.
No, it was urgent. So basically,
Urgent.
Either fly out tonight or he's stuck in Budds Creek for 3 days.
It's a
until the
great
hurricane
place. It's a
passes.
wonderful place to be. I think.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. So, Hunter, you had a good start. That first moto with a red flag. We were 15 minutes or so in. Red flag comes out. A little bit of chaos. We line you back up. Another start. Really 2 half motos. Did that affect your day at all? It's just what it is?
Yeah, it was weird because it's like you want to do the full duration. You know, when you break it up like that, it's kind of like 2 short sprints. So it was obviously got to get a good start again first and foremost. But it was just whatever.
It is what it is. Joe?
Yeah, because Joe had 2 ends of this. He was up front, kind of in the start. He didn't quite get the jump in the second one. I'm curious to see his perspective in that restart.
So Joe, what was your perspective on the first 2 motos, like the restarts and stuff?
Well, I was really bummed because the race was going until halfway, and then I'm not sure what's the problem that was, but
use the right lane to take exit.
I mean, I wish it was just a start, and then the positions. I mean, that could be big for overall. So a little bit of a bummer, but I think for everyone.
So yeah, to clarify, he said obviously it was really good in the first one, and sucks because he didn't get as good a start in the second one, and he was in a really good spot for an overall for the overall with the first motor how it was running. So threw a curveball at everyone.
Very good. Very good. One more to go. Heading over to Indiana. Still up for grabs. Any special training, any anxiety? It is heading to Ironman. Do you like Ironman?
Yeah, Ironman's sick. It should be a good weekend. One more down, and yeah, really looking forward to it. Finish off this Pro Motocross championship strong, and then on to SMX.
And then off to SMX.
Yeah.
Lots of money on the line. Do we have a question? We do.
Mitch Kendra from Racer X. Obviously, you kind of battled with Justin here, at Canfull times now. You guys banged bars a little bit today. but usually it's pretty respectful between both you guys. Just talk a bit about racing him and kind of, you know, what to expect in just the battles you guys have had.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing out of the ordinary. I mean, he was, first moto, 23, 22 points down, 1 round to go. There's going to be stuff like that happen. So can't say I would have did anything different if I was in his position. So yeah, it just is what it is.
And I guess he's a pretty good starter. He's a pretty good qualifier. Is that kind of, obviously you're going to worry about yourself, but does that play anything into your approach next weekend, or just same thing and hopefully it works out?
Yeah, just same thing as always. Qualifying doesn't really make or break your day as such for me. And the starts, obviously we put a lot of emphasis on and do the best we can to get up there.
And then obviously, like Tim mentioned, you got a comfortable enough lead. Are you going to go golfing this week and kind of take your mind off it, or like what's your approach to, just not trying to think about it and overthink it and make it worse than it could be?
Tell you what, if it's in the 70s in Tampa, I'll be golfing, but I don't think that's the case. So yeah, no golf.
All right, thank you.
No more questions for Joe, or
For you.
for Joe?
No, for you. Almost similar. Edwin from FIN Latin American Husky Park TV. We spoke last week. What about your strategy for this week? You did it. You win. But let me get my question here. Okay. We have been this class. The start's the key, right? And to be in the podium. The first moto, you have a best start. You reach the second, a few seconds. Justin Cooper, right? My question is, what was the strategy for second moto? Because you picked the better gate, you do some adjustment, because we're still playing, fighting for the championship. And did you know that Justin Cooper was getting close in the last lap? That he was so much frustrating when you crossed the finish line. He said, "Oh, I almost get it." Do you know that he was getting close?
Yeah, I knew where he was. Yeah, absolutely. It was the last lap. I tried a new line before the uphill triple and didn't have enough run up to get it. So, yeah, obviously I got to be perfect off the starts. It's no secret how fast the Yamahas are. So I have to be absolutely perfect every time to be close on the start. So it was really good. Just put emphasis on a really important day today to give myself an easier run into Ironman.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions?
So Joe, someone asked how's the traffic.
Oh, sure. Hi, Hunter. AJ Pleasanton, Racer X.
Oh, he's talking.
So this question.
Joe's answering.
Joe's answering a question. Hold on, please.
Okay, go Joe.
The question was to Joe Shimoto is, how is the traffic?
Oh my God, it's I'm supposed to fly out 7 p.m. but I'm like really stressing.
So he said he's supposed to fly out at 7, and it's 6 now, and he's really stressing. Traffic sucks.
All right. Very good.
All right. Hi, Hunter. AJ Pleasanton, Racer X. So you've been in America for a number of years. I'm currently writing an article on Harry Kulis, who second AMA race was this week from Estonia. And, it's a bit of a culture shock to him coming here, like the protocol for starting opposed to MXGP, or the humidity, the food. So what would your advice be to a young rider from overseas coming to race in America for the first time?
You gotta adapt to it. It's just plain and simple. And we went to Europe. The culture shock was crazy. For us going from Europe to America was easier because our cultures are similar. But yeah, you got to get there and you got to have a complete open mindset and go, okay, this is the new normal and this is what we got to do. So.
All right, guys, hello and welcome to our 450 portion of our press conference with our winner today, Jet Lawrence, as well as Jason Anderson and Aaron Plessinger. Guys, want to kick things off right away. Jet, you answered the question for everybody. What if he doesn't get a start? Can he come through the pack? What will his mindset be? Will he risk it? And you answered all those questions today, basically without taking any risk. You're able to come through the pack pretty well. Seems like you're very calculated about it, of course. And the big thing right now, championships put away. Focus Super Motocross Championship, I'm sure, but in the back of your mind, that perfect season. Now, that has to be a little more on the table than it was.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've been fortunate with my starts this year. We've been starting up there, and I've never had good starts here. In that first one, I was on a knobby tie, and a lot of guys were on the paddle. So, was at a bit of a disadvantage, and my start wasn't good, so it made it worse. But, no, it was fun. Something different made me think. This had to be, like you said, more calculated. This track's pretty hard to pass on, so it was more of kind of just actually planning out a pass and executing it, make sure in the right spot. So it was fun, something different for me, and luckily I was able to get both of my main kind of guys I had to get around was obviously Chase and Dylan. I got them on like the first few laps. So I was able to capitalize on that, and then, yeah, obviously the perfect season's there, but it doesn't change. I mean, I'm coming at each weekend, and I mean, even since like during this week, I almost felt more motivated than I was before the championship. So we're feeling good. We're gonna try our best. If we get a perfect season, that's great. If not, I mean, it's cool we came close. We have a lot more years to do it. I'm only 20, so we're gonna be looking forward to them.
And you know what? You've continued that mindset and that attitude through the whole season. You've been asked similar questions, and that's pretty much your take on it right now. So as we move into next week, 2 more legit motos on the table. Just go back to work this week and stick with the program, correct?
Yeah, exactly. To stick to that same program that's been working. We might even make more tweaks on the bike. Always trying to be better on the bike and off the bike myself. So it's yeah, always trying to improve.
Awesome. Jason, we talked just a moment ago. Saw a huge improvement in you just in aggressiveness, in old school body style, back to the El Hombre days. You know, no question. You look like you were having a good time. Looked like the bike's working a little better over the last few weeks, and your confidence level really went up today.
Yeah, for sure. Today obviously was better. You know, my starts weren't there. I think I started around like 8th to 10th, both motos, and was able to work my way up into second the first one, and then the second moto, it's just, you know, it's a lot of work, so I was only able to get up to 5th, and but it was good enough for a podium. It's really nice. I feel like putting 2 solid motos together for me right now is step in the right direction, and being on the box is nice, but still, obviously, you want more. You know, you want to be up further, but yeah, I'm just trying my best to make some progress and you know, work on the bike and work on myself a lot.
Well, we're seeing steady progression and improvement. Congratulations on
Thank
that.
you.
Looks like you're really starting to get it dialed. AP, our guy, man, you always find another gear, man. When you're in it to win it, you are just a totally different rider. And does your mindset change around the first turn? I mean, from being maybe mid-pack, maybe top 15, when you're in it, man, you are a definitely different rider from the start. And is that just in your mind, or is that something we're perceiving? Or maybe it's something that isn't even there. But to us, it looks like you just find another gear when you're in it from the start.
Yeah, I mean, my starts haven't been that great. I had that one good one at, or 2 good ones at Washougal, and yeah, I think when you start up there, it's easier to stay up there. That first moto today, I got stiff around 20-minute mark or 15-minute mark and went backwards. But yeah, I think once you get the start, I mean, I know I can run good laps with these guys, and obviously I rode really good in that second moto. But I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's I don't think anything changes. I think I just get out front and kind of am able to do my own lines, ride my kind of race, and I mean, when you start up front, it's better than being in the back.
No question about that. And no matter what the result is, you are always a fan favorite. No question about that. You salute the fans every week. You appreciate the effort from those guys, and they appreciate the personality and the enthusiasm that you show, and that has to be a big boost in your confidence.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when I'm up front like that, they go crazy, and I try to return the favor in the podium, and they anywhere I go, if I'm up there, they make me feel at home. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see, and yeah, I love it.
Awesome. Good stuff. Right now, we're going to turn it over to the media. Mitch, you first.
Hey, Mitch Kendra from Racer X. Aaron, we'll start with you. So obviously you're finishing the season like pretty strong here. Heading into Super Motocross, is that kind of, look to carry this momentum, and instead of the season just ending now, you have Super Motocross to kind of build into. So just, talk about transitioning into that. Obviously 2 motos left, but talk about carrying that momentum into Super Motocross, like you said, starts, confidence, running up front, stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good way to end the season, and my favorite track's coming up, so hopefully I can do something there and keep it on the box, and just transition. I mean, I don't know, it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be first for everybody, so riding Supercross again, it's definitely wild, but it's gonna be fun. So I'm ready for it, and hopefully I can carry the momentum into that. I'll be starting second, so hopefully I'll be starting second. So I'm looking forward to it.
And then we kind of heard your name maybe is one of those for the Team USA for Motocross Nations. Can you elaborate on if you would get picked and just a little bit about that, or as we kind of head into that announcement next weekend?
Yeah. I mean, I've heard talk, but nothing set in stone yet. I didn't really even hear anything like last weekend or anything, so I'm kind of in the dark. But I know I'm one of few that could go. If they pick me, I'm down for it. Let's go to France and let's do our best. And I've never been far. The furthest I've been is Canada, so I mean, I've never flown more than 6 hours, so we'll see about it.
And then Jason, a little bit of a similar question with you. Obviously, the injury kept you out for the first couple rounds. Now a couple podiums, you've had the speed, a couple of crashes hindered your results. Again, you kind of feel like you're going to carry some momentum into Super Motocross, and just kind of expectations wise there.
Yeah, I obviously I don't think any of us know what we're getting ourselves into with whatever the format is, whatever the track is. It's like a 2-day thing. So for us, I think we're all gonna have to play it by ear and kind of wing it. It's like right now we're riding Supercross some, trying to get a setup for there, but also riding that setup for outdoors. It's kind of confusing, but it's super cool. And right now, hopefully this year we'll get our feet wet with it and understand what it is. But obviously there's a lot up for grabs and money that we've never really had in this sport. So it'll be cool to maybe make some cash.
And then Jed, I know we kind of talked about your riding style a little bit last weekend, and then today we kind of saw you floating around, bouncing over some stuff today. Talk a bit about that big uphill jump after the finish line. There had like the knuckle in it. You were kind of floating up over that. Was that just the most efficient thing? Just talk about how you picked the line choice and versus slamming into it. Some guys are hitting into it. You're bouncing over it. Just talk through managing that situation.
No, I just do it at this stage. I mean, that bump was kind of there all day, and I mean, it just got bigger and bigger, and was easy to get at the end of the day. We didn't quite get it as good as we wanted, but I mean, we got it good a few times, but it was kind of just all in that run on that off camber to see how good you would get. But no, it was kind of tricky with a few sections trying to pop some stuff just because it's so hard pack. I didn't want to pop the clutch and lose traction all because it was pretty like concrete. It wasn't even dirt, it was concrete out there. So it's just kind of at this point this comes natural. I don't really know. I don't think of it much.
Yeah, and then last one, obviously Chase was there, and then he had a mistake, I believe, dropped back a little bit, and then he caught up to the back of you again. Did you kind of, I guess, when did you realize he was back on your rear wheel, and just kind of talk about that last lap there? He was right on your ass, kind of.
Those last 2 laps, I knew you got close. I heard he ended up getting the red cross flag also on that trip. I thought I got unlucky and I was the only one. It's funny. It was like it's always the few lap riders that we lap that they never, not so much move. It's just like they don't get out the way at all. Like they stay in their main line the whole time in racing. It's annoying because their pace is so much slower than ours. That's like it affects my gap. And when Chase gets close, and it's like then he knows, especially when you're leading out front. Like it's the hard thing about when you're leading is if someone's close, you're the first one they have to go through, and there's sometimes they don't know that you're lapping them. But then once they do, for the rest of the guys, I feel like they're a little bit aware of it. Some aren't. Some are just go straight back to it. But Yeah, it is what it is. We end up feeling definitely that last lap, and I think I missed all my lines. After I looked back and kind of half slid around, I'm like, okay, so yeah, we put our head down and we were trying to like execute everything, but we executed like 40% of what we were trying to do, what we normally do. So no, we're happy to get away with it.
Thanks, Jason from Racer X and the TV show. The scoop tire, you didn't have it in Moto 1. That did hurt the start. Do you think it helped to have the regular knobby to be able to take different lines and make the passes, though?
I think definitely so, because like I said before, it wasn't even dirt. It was basically support that was like kind of soft and muddy, and then concrete straight after. So you had to be like, you could bury it you have to be light in the soft support, but then also light again on the hard stuff, because otherwise you'd just be spinning. So it was a bit of a mix. At the start there, you could get away with it because the supports were that soft, but that the first Moto one was kind of a bit of an if thing. And after I did siding lap, it was like we might lose quite a bit on the start, but I think if hopefully we can get just a decent enough start, then just kind of gain a little bit more on the track, and thankfully enough we did. And then for the second one, I think everyone was on the knobby tire, so we're happy about that.
Yeah, let's talk about that second Moto start. Is that one of your best starts ever? I mean, that was unbelievable out of the gate.
Yeah, it was good. I had to kind of go off of AP's first start. He kind of made me look silly in the first one, so I'm like, I can't make that.
I was on a knobby tire, too.
Oh!
Yeah, he made me look silly that first one, so I'm like, gosh damn it, AP. I'm like, I don't want to do this, but I got to do this. And we did it. No, that second one, it wasn't like, it was weird because once we got like out of the gate, it didn't feel like it was a great jump or anything fantastic, but just once we hit the dirt, I think just that bit lighter weight of mine helps quite a bit.
When all of a sudden you realize Chase is there, how hard is it to ramp it back up? I got to get my pace back to maybe what you were doing 4 or 5 laps earlier. Is that tough, especially with a little pressure there?
On this track, yes, it's because there's not much room for error. If you kind of just miss that support and you start leaning too early, it can go away pretty quickly. So here it is a little difficult. It also doesn't help, like I said, when you miss your ruts, because when you miss them, you're in like no man's land. So there was a bit of get going out of those last few turns, but no, it definitely is a little difficult on this track just for how the track conditions were.
And my last thing, did I see you eating an ice cream cone when you came into this press conference?
Yeah, I'll burn it off once I walk back to the truck. I still got that kid in me.
Congratulations, AP. Second, 2 podium, 2 second. You know, in the start, the season was, you know, good. No good start, but you coming back. You're very steady. Jason, 2 podium, 2 third. Last year you win. I thought you were coming this year again, 2 years in a row, but you know, you got podium. Hunter, Jet Lawrence, you win the first Moto, the second Moto, good start, like a Jason Bago, good. Last minute, you know, Chase section were coming. But the first Moto, you had a best start, you're coming back. But everybody from Latin America asking, you're working for undefeated season, perfect season, and making history, or you just want the podium, another race to win? Because you said, you know, when it's already champ and to race it to go, you don't care what position you get. I mean, like, but you want more, you want finish. That's what my Latin American fans ask. So,
yeah, I don't like losing, so that's what it is, really.
That's a good one.
All right, anybody else?
Jason, first question's for you. Jordan with Direct Motocross. So me and my fiance recently just had a newborn. She's about a month old now. She's a sweetheart. I was just curious, like, with you being, you know, so involved in moto and training and setups and everything, like, how do you manage both sides as far as, like, you know, being a great dad and working your hardest to try to be the best rider that you can be?
I mean, obviously for me, I'm lucky that my wife is really helpful and on board, and she's a huge effort in my whole deal, you know. And and my daughter, she makes it really easy on us. You know, she just turned 4 months old, but she's really honestly sleeps through the night. She's very calm, easy to fly with, and I think that makes it very, very easy on us. So she seems like she's already, you know, a frequent flyer, and for me, just both of them, they let me do my work, you know. And obviously, you know, there's a little bit of give and take, but that's just what it is. You know, I'm excited to start this chapter of my life. You know, like having a kid, having a family, and still continue to live my dream. And they let me do that. So and support it too. So it's really, really fun.
Absolutely, that's great. Appreciate that. Jet, fun question for you. I know you're a gamer. This one might be for the kids. What's your go-to Fortnite skin? And if you were able to have a Fortnite skin, what would it be like?
I think my go-to is whatever the sweatiest one there is. Brings out the sweatness in me, you know. And I think if I would have had a skin, I would make me at least 6'2", big muscles, ripped, calves.
Small head though for the hitbox.
The banana.
Yeah. Basically, yeah, different whole man. It's not me. They can't forget the calves. And I guess in riding gear with no shirt on. Because you got to see. Maybe we cut the riding pants into shorts so you see the calves.
Yeah.
You see the muscles.
I agree with that. I think that would be an amazing Jet Lawrence.
You got to see the muscles. Yeah, like baggies. You need like the, what do they call it? Jorts?
Jorts.
We need jorts. That's all we need. Because then.
My nickname.
Yeah, we need to see the muscles. Basically anything that I'm not. I want that.
AP, question for you. What is your go-to meal during the day for like motos, especially on the days where it's like really hot and humid? And then what's your favorite cheat day meal?
Dippers.
No, I usually don't eat like too much if I'm doing motos because it's not easy to, you know, scarf down a sandwich and then go back out in the 100-degree heat, and then so I just stick to a bar, and then man, cheat meals.
Don't say In-N-Out Burger,
dude,
please.
No, that's like weak. I love a good pizza, man. A good pizza or anything with a lot of cheese. Anything with a lot of cheese. I mean, I kind of eat cheese, but anything with like extra cheese, I'm going for it.
Anybody else? Weege?
We've had so few questions about the actual racing. Just talk about the battles, dude. You weren't even here at the beginning of the year, Jason, and a couple guys weren't. Barsha, Aaron's good. The battles are pretty intense. That second moto, there were like 5 of you. Just take me through that second moto. It was nuts.
Yeah, for me, I think even first moto, I think I was like in 8th place behind Marchbanks, and then Jet came going by me, and I just tried to latch onto him and pick guys off. Yeah, for me, I basically started 10th and had to work my way to wherever I was. And coming back, you know, I feel like that second moto, I got past Adam, and I got into 5th and was a little worn out. So after not racing all year and stuff like that, I feel like I'm still trying to build, you know, just to have 2 motos to where I could be all out. But yeah, I mean, today was a lot of battles, especially in our class. I mean, the second moto, I think Chase and Jet were quite a ways out front, but that first moto and behind those 2 in the second moto was all out battle. And track was really tough to pass on today, but it was fun.
And for you, Aaron, you and Barsha were going at it. It was like 15 minutes. I thought you had him over and over. And then even when you got him, he tried to come back. So just take me through that battle.
Yeah, he was riding really good. It was, like Jason said, it's so hard to pass out there because this track usually funnels into one line. And then obviously it was hard as concrete out there some places. And no, I just had to think. He made me think more than I usually think. and yeah, I mean, I got the pass, and then he was trying to get me, but I just said be perfect and just try try and hit your marks and do everything. And I didn't make mistakes, and it was honestly probably the best last couple laps of the moto that I've ever done. Just because I wanted it, and but yeah, he was riding good. I was riding good. My bike was working unreal, and yeah, luckily I did get him for second because it feels good.
I want to ask about Ironman. I'll let you answer it, Aaron, because I know you love that track. Just give us a preview of what you like about it and what Ironman's like.
Ironman, it's got a lot of big hills, got a lot of ruts. Personally, I like the 2015 version of Ironman, but it's still good. It's still good. It's really deep. I think they brought a lot of sand and mulch and mixed it in with the dirt, so it's got a real loamy dirt, and yeah, it's just a good track. Got good air time, gets rough, got good places to watch, good ruts, deep ruts, and yeah, last year I got a podium there, so hopefully again.
All right, is that going to do it for everybody? Any last questions? All right, well, congratulations, Jet, Jason, and Aaron. Look forward to seeing you guys next week. Thanks, everybody, for joining us for the 450 edition of our Budds Creek Post-Moto Media Conference.